The latest in the Miguna Miguna saga is that the Emirates airline is very reluctant to fly Miguna back to Nairobi. Why? Because they have said that they fear they'll not be granted landing rights. Okay? Because, according to them, the Kenya government has told them very clearly that no flight carrying Miguna Miguna on board will be allowed to land in Kenya. And so the way it seems, the general will have to spend quite a bit of time in Dubai. Yeah, there seems to be some sort of stalemate. There is talk of his lawyers flying out to Dubai so as to facilitate his return back to Kenya. Okay, but in my view, we'll still end up at the same roadblock. Yeah, no airline carrying Miguna Miguna will be allowed to land in Nairobi or anywhere in Kenya. So let's wait and see how that situation develops. Now, meanwhile, of course, the government of Kenya has come out defending itself. Okay, and what the Kenyan government has to say, according to me, does not make sense. The Kenyan government says and denies very strongly they did not drug Miguna. Okay? No drugs were used on Miguna. Yeah? In fact, what they say is that two elite officers from the GSU Reke squad escorted Miguna to Dubai. Yeah? And according to legal officers within immigration, he was deported back to the last place, where he flew out from, which was Dubai. End of story. Why does that not make sense? Because it contradicts evidence on the ground, very clear evidence in the public domain. Number two, it contradicts what the Emirates say, the Emirates airline. Actually, in their defense, the Emirates airline says they were forced to carry an unconscious passenger, because the Kenyan authorities refused them permission to take off. In other words, the airline was blackmailed. They were told, you carry this unconscious passenger or you will not leave. Now, to the public, that may appear to be a very lame excuse. And indeed, the truth is it's a lame excuse because the rules are very clear. You do not carry an unconscious passenger. Okay? But then those in the industry tell me the repercussions of an airline being delayed, any carrier being delayed, can be huge. People have connecting flights, etc., etc. And then there's another factor. This is a mere captain of an aircraft, and is dealing with a powerful government, on whose soil his aircraft has landed, So it normally becomes quite a difficult and dodgy situation. But that is what the Emirates are saying, okay? The Kenyan government is saying they did not drag Miguna. So who are you going to believe? Who are you going to believe? I leave that as an open question to you, okay? Let's move on. If indeed Miguna left in the company of two elite Reke squad officers from GSU squad, the GSU unit, my first question is, how? Because we all know how Miguna frustrated the first attempt to deport him. He caused a fracas, he behaved in a violent manner, and no airline will carry you. So what did these officers do? Did they gag him? Seal his mouth and handcuff him? I would be very interested in the details of exactly how this operation was done by only two officers. Let's move on. Okay. Now, the government also does not mention London. Okay. They say they just dumped him in Dubai. The last place he flew out from. Now, there's a video in the public domain where Miguna is refusing to board a flight to London. Okay? So, that's a lie, definitely. I think if we can just be very blunt, the problem here is very simple. Okay? Whatever the two GSU officers did to Miguna to get him out of Nairobi, yeah, they are not able to do in Dubai to get him from Dubai to London. It's as simple as that. Folks, we are dealing with a government of Kenya that is not truthful. Yeah, I think that is just very, very clear. Now, many Kenyans do not see this, but there's a very huge problem being created here. Okay? Now, put yourself in the shoes of a pilot, yeah, of a foreign airline flying into Nairobi. Yeah? What are the thoughts that would be going through your mind as you fly into Nairobi? What about the chief executive of a carrier, yeah, flying into Nairobi? What would be going on through your mind? Because this news is all over the world. It's splashed right across the planet. Everybody knows this story. Yeah. So you're the chief executive of an airline, yeah, any airline. What is going through your mind as your pilots fly in and out of Nairobi? You can be sure that pilots are being told, be very cautious in Kenya. Okay? When you fly into Kenya, be very cautious and play everything by the book. No carrying unconscious passengers. I know I'm laughing, but this is a very serious matter that threatens to become even more serious. You see, the huge problem here is that impunity, yeah, the Kenyan brand of impunity, yeah, has crossed the borders. It has left Kenya and gone abroad. Now, this has massive consequences and repercussions on Kenyans. The immediate problem is that obviously it will not work beyond the borders of Kenya. Yeah? Especially in the Western world. Even in places like Dubai, it will not work. You fly into Kenya and the government of that country refuses you to leave unless you do something, yeah, that is illegal. What do? You start looking at options. You start exploring ways and means of not having to fly to Kenya. Yeah. Now, of course, we have to admit the fact that Kenya is a very important hub in Africa. Extremely important. Yeah. Indeed, getting into a situation whereby airlines cannot fly into Nairobi or limited aircrafts are going to Nairobi, limited international flights are going to Nairobi, would create a huge crisis, a huge global crisis. That is the truth. And so, a solution will have to be found. And this is why I'm convinced, in my view, that governments will have to start getting involved with the problem in Kenya, whether they like it or not. Because now they're being affected. And this is why I repeat once again, the people responsible for making the decision to deport Miguna a second time were not thinking straight. They did not think through the consequences of exactly what they were doing. Now, draconian governments all through history have made some very crazy decisions. But the difference here is that they think through what they're doing. Obviously, that did not happen in this case. And definitely, you can expect consequences. Yeah, definitely. Now, in the next episode of this series, we're going to deal with the political fallout, yeah, from this Miguna deportation a second time. Okay? You know the usual drill. In case you're new, I'll have to repeat it. Wait for the link on the top left-hand corner of your screen. In fact, it should be on your screens right now. Click on it. As soon as that video is ready, that link will be there. If it's not ready, that place will be blank. Yeah, but just click on that link and you'll be through to the second part of this series. You don't want to miss this. See you there in a bit. This is Kshs Kumekucha.